Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to On the Field with Jon and Jarad here at Cool FM Studios, live in downtown, maybe southern, southeast, Sierra Vista, whatever we want to call it. We just always make stuff up and go with it. Anyway, we got some special guests on the show this afternoon. These guys, I talked to Sean in the post-game interview last night, and I said, hey, let's bring some of our defensive players in. We haven't had much of the defensive guys that could talk to yet, so here we go with two of the three starting linebackers.
Bryson Harris, number 50, middle linebacker.
There he is, and
Cooper Krause, number 52, middle linebacker.
all right, so cool. Cooper, Bryson, and
Sean Bookman, number 66, and I'm
all right. So thank you guys so much for taking a little bit of your afternoon on your weekend to come over and chat with us about some high school football and talk about your game last night a little bit and talk about some highlights and then move into, preparing for a huge week coming up for some of these guys.
So the score was 49-0. So that's what your guys' third shutout so far. Good Lord. Shutouts are the hardest thing in football. That's one of the things that people don't have, that they don't rate very highly, is like, if you shut someone completely out of even special teams, that's a level above. Like, that's incredible. So great job by you guys.
Yeah, it's just been so impressive to watch this team grow through the season.
So I find a lot of the strength of when we're talking about the defensive line is just a monster this year. Like, you guys are getting a lot of tackles and a lot of fumbles and recoveries and stuff like that. But the defensive line is really like keeping those linemen from blocking you guys, it seems like. Who are the guys on the defensive line that you guys have that are standouts?
You got Trent Williams. They're all really standouts. So you got Trent Williams, he's the Russian.
Okay.
Zach Barrett's the strong end. He's really good. And so is Trent. And then Barch in the middle at nose guard, he's really good at holding that gap.
Wow.
And Barch is one of those guys you can take out for, both the middle guys, honestly, because sometimes Sean goes to the end.
Yeah.
And they'll put Xavier Carr in there, or even Tyler Jurdy.
Yeah.
So it's really, all those guys can do the same thing, and we're still good.
So it's just a huge rotation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, Sean, you would basically be the three technique, I'm assuming, in this defense?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're kind of the guy that goes everywhere.
Yeah.
They move you. Oh, man, I love playing
the
with
three
guys.
technique's usually the more athletic guy. The one technique is
Like the Chris
Barch.
Jones, yeah. So you got the Chris Jones, you got the nose tackle, and you got the D tackle. So you're like a rush defensive tackle.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So your guys' linebacker cores are pretty bad, pretty awesome too. So have you guys? Who's the guy that's forcing all the fumbles?
Oh, I mean,
You're recovering all the fumbles.
No, this guy.
No, he's
Cooper had two last
he
night.
recovers them. I caused a couple early in the season. And then Cassie Grand was one of the big ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we really just, you cause the fumble and someone's there to pick it up, really. I mean, we're all always swarming the ball, so someone's got to be there to get it on our side. So.
Can you guys change position? Like, you play 3 different positions on the defensive line. Do you guys play other positions other than middle or?
Well, we could both go to outside linebacker.
Okay.
Yeah, we had to.
Okay, so you guys shift out, and on the offense, you both play offensive line.
Yes, I'm starting right guard.
Okay, right guard.
Up there.
Wow. And how about you, Sean? You're the tackle, right?
I'm the right tackle.
Okay, right tackle. Yeah. That's the back in the day, those were the run blocking tackles. It was like for, I don't know. Now it's kind of like ambidextrous. You get the athletic guy on both sides of the line. You don't go one way or the other. Tell us about what you guys think that your strength on the defense is. I mean, we all know that you guys have standouts at every level, but what is it that makes it churn? What is it that makes you guys so much more successful than everybody else?
If I may.
Yeah.
Film. We study their plays. We just have very good football knowledge. Like, we have guys that want to play. We have guys that want to win. So that just, helps us execute and, do our jobs.
That's awesome. What would you say, or would you agree?
I wouldn't say just film. I'd say almost everyone on our defense really gives the most amount of effort they can.
That's awesome.
especially at like bigger games like Marana,
Mhm.
everybody was giving the most effort they could, whether they messed up or not.
Oh.
Because mistakes are going to happen, but if everybody does the most they can, then it makes us a lot more successful.
I would say, honestly, our mentality, because we're not there to be nice. We're there to just get our job done. Obviously, we got to be good sports about it, but you really just got to be there and, like, just go hard, you know what I mean?
We'll keep it PG and say we got to be buttholes on defense.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
something else and I always say this, Jared's always gonna poke me about this, but altitude training. You guys outrun everybody too. That's
You
the thing
said
that
it.
I noticed is that when you guys go down to Tucson, like you don't you get tired. When you come up to Sierra Vista, when they come up to Sierra Vista, they're tired by the second half, and you guys are basically playing a brand new game. It's like you guys are. Now, does Coach torture you guys all wind sprints all day long, or is it just like, is it? It is wind sprints.
It's okay.
So-
Coach Thomas is watching. It
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
no,
He'll laugh with you.
And it's also
It's okay.
a good thing. It's
Yeah.
That's the painful
Yeah,
part, but it's
just-
a good thing.
Hopefully we don't jinx ourselves, but it kind of goes down within the season as you start like getting those high pressure games. You'll start getting more conditioned. Like we used to do 4 quarters like up downs, but we started like dwindling down as the season like starts to ramp up.
Yeah, so you're not wearing yourself out before the games. That's a really good way of doing things. Yeah, I swear you guys are, and me also not trying to jinx anything, but you guys are very healthy right now.
Oh, yeah.
Like, how many teams have like all their stars are totally? I mean, as far as I can tell, you guys haven't really lost anybody other than the tackle in the first
I
game.
mean, we even had Zach Barrett in a broken
You
arm
had a
and
broken.
kept playing.
Great.
Taped it up, put some foam on it, and said, "Let's go. I'm gonna keep rolling." I love it.
I wish I could.
Strong dude.
He's a
right there.
beast.
Yeah, that's
The big
fine.
thing about that is, I mean, everybody's getting pretty banged up now that it's coming to the end of the season, but everybody wants to play and they're going to play through it. Like,
Yeah.
everybody really wants to play.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I'm watching some of the kids that got in the second half, and I'm like, I haven't seen any of those kids, and they were just
who's
fired
that
up.
number? What
Oh
number
my
is that?
gosh! Yeah, I was like, I watched one of those kids that I'd never seen blow another kid off the ball. I'm like, he's like, that's gonna be cool. That's something to look forward to. That'll be nice.
Yeah, Zach was doing that to that tackle from Sunnyside last night.
Oh my gosh.
He was eating him for lunch and dinner and snacks afterwards. He was tearing them up. So,
Now, yeah, go for it.
Coop, you had 2 fumble recovers. Let's talk about any other stats, tackles last night. You have any solo tackles?
I may have had one.
Yeah.
I mean, I got there, first a couple of times, but everybody was there, so.
As when you're watching film, you want to be in the frame, right? You want to be those 8 or 9 there in the frame in that film session. So you're like, okay, that's what I'm talking about. Ball hawk, everybody just swarming the ball, and that's what that's why it's like for me when I'm up there in the box trying to call the game. I'm like, well, there's a host of Colts defenders in there, led by. So I try and say you guys' names a little bit to share the love and share the wealth, but it's just like you guys are always there. It's just like it doesn't matter. Sean Book, when Sean's there because Sean's got his little swag going, got his little dances he does. And it's like, oh, that's Book. You know who that was. And then Coop comes out of there just looked like a fire plug. He's super intense. It's like, oh, there's Krause. That's who made that play. So I mean, just Bryson gets fired up too, and
Oh my gosh.
he ends up
You got
slinging his arms around, and flags start flying. It's like, wait, he didn't do nothing. He didn't touch anybody. Well,
That middle linebacker, the linebackers always have to be a little bit crazy. I've always noticed. Like, you can have really smart. My experience is that you have like really smart defensive linemen, you have really dumb defense linemen. You got really smart linebackers though. Like everybody has to like understand their job.
Yeah.
Defensive backs, you're like, this guy's a little wild card. He might not know what's going on. He's just really fast after the ball. But I do notice your defensive backs, they seem to play zone very well. Actually, all of the linebackers play zone, like with the defensive backs, really well. You're rushing 4 linemen, you're still getting to the quarterback, and you're maintaining coverage.
Yep.
That's the most impressive thing, is that you're maintaining coverage with that, with all that pass rushing.
exactly.
Do you want to go down the scores real quick?
Not quite yet. I wanted to go one more question. So now, we've covered a little bit of last night's performance, and offensively we were just through the roof.
Yeah.
we could do anything at will. You know, we pulled back. Well, once we got that running clock, it was like, okay, let's scale back and start getting the younger guys in. But now you got a big week coming up, senior night. You know, Coop, you're a senior.
I'm not a
You're a junior. I'm saying the only senior in the room is right here, right, and Bryson. So, you know, going into that process, you know, it builds up through the season, but now it's here. It's like, holy cow, this is going to be the last time I'm going to strap the pads on and put my helmet on with my boys one more time. Maybe even more. I mean, more because of playoffs are coming up. We're going to still play in the playoffs, but, you know, what kind of emotions have you been going through? I'll go with you first, Sean, and then you, Bryson.
Well, to be honest, I'm trying not to think about it because, you know, it's like the end, and it's pretty sad, but, you know, we got a game tomorrow. We got Cienega to win. That's our rival. Like, I'm going to be honest, we've lost them, like, these past 4 years. We're not losing them again.
Just by a little bit of points at a time. It's been very, very close games. So,
Well,
Bryson.
it's definitely kind of scary to think about. It's like, it's crazy, especially like, you know what I mean, how far we've come as a team too. Like, I don't know, it's crazy. But like Sean said, we have Cienega to worry about, and I mean, we already proved ourselves. I feel like playing with the #1 team in Arizona, Marana, and I mean, we were there with them the whole time. You know what I mean? At one point, we were up.
Yep.
We definitely could have beat them.
Yeah.
So
That's why the whole fourth quarter they didn't want to give you the ball back because they didn't want to keep scoring.
And I don't see Cienega as a threat, really, to be honest. I know we can beat them. We just have to get that job done. But, I mean, at the end of the day, we just got to prove ourselves. So.
Well, that's super, super intense. That's good. That's good thinking.
Individually, what was your best game? I'll go here.
Okay. I got to go Casa Grande. I mean, I went in there thinking, you know what I mean, whatever happens, happens. I'm just going to do my job, and they're going to do their assignments, and we're just going to get the job done, and it ended up working. So.
Okay, I like that. Did you have any fumble recoveries on that one?
I had that one sack on the quarterback.
Oh, that was
right at the end.
And that was probably my highlight of the season right there. So.
All right.
It was a nice hit. My best game was probably Miranda.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Man, outside of that one run in the very, very beginning, like, you shut down an incredible offensive line. That was the best part. I was just blown away by how both your offensive and defensive line just manhandled those dudes. And that's the #1 team in the state, regardless of division. That was crazy.
Yeah.
How about you?
Just to see your adjustments to shut down Acuna and to shut down those big guys up front and start, you know, flowing downhill. And we saw it the rest of the game. And I kept saying it when I was announcing the game. I was like, these linebackers are getting some great lanes from this defensive line doing their stunts, and you guys were just able to just keep no one getting any kind of yardage. I mean, if they broke, it was because of a fluke thing where everybody got maybe submarined or something, and it was just one of those things. But
that's a big thing for our defense is our D line keeps they hold their gap, so there's nowhere when me and Bryson fill, there's nowhere else for them to go.
Yeah.
And that's why I got so many tackles.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for my defensive line, our run defense wouldn't be as good as it was.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Obviously I could say Sunnyside, but everyone's gonna have a good game against a bad team. But I'd say probably my best game was Ironwood Ridge. You know, they're 8-1 right now. That's a really good team. And I got 8 tackles, 4 assist tackles,
Dude,
and a sack.
As a defensive lineman,
I know, man. Well, unfortunately, my defensive end Zach, he got injured, so that allowed me to get more tackles as defensive end. Obviously recovered. I'm grateful for that, but it really allowed me to put my presence into the game and get a lot of tackles and sacks.
So that it took the other person, the backup, out of the rotation. You're like, you just got to go all the way through. Sorry, bro.
Exactly.
You're gonna have to rack up every tackle from the right side or the left side. But you're a big defensive end for pretty much any of these divisions. You're not gigantic, but wide frame, fairly tall. You're the right shape for a defensive end in 5A Arizona football. I'm impressed. I'm this guy should be at least all league. We had all league where I'm
call
from.
conference. Yeah, he'll probably be first team, no doubt. Bryson should be voted
Oh,
for
for
sure.
being up there
Yeah.
too.
Dude, with those
As
just
well.
those fumble recoveries, 2
Yeah.
fumble recoveries is a season, man. Like that's a really good.
Highlight of your career at Buena.
2 fumble
Since you're a senior, I
recoveries.
had to throw it out there.
Yeah, I gotta go to Casa Grande.
Still
Yeah,
Casa
I mean,
Grande.
there's-
Okay.
I've never hit somebody like that before.
Love it. Good stuff, man.
Did he
Those-
cry for his mom after?
Oh,
Because
hey,
that one's
snot
the-
bubbles?
yeah.
Saw the bubbles coming out the
I'm
nose.
pretty sure I saw a tear come out of his eye.
All right, there it
there you
is.
go.
There it is.
How about you?
Sean,
I really couldn't tell you.
I'm on.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I've had some decent hits this year on the receivers, but I couldn't tell you what my biggest.
Yeah. You it's upcoming.
Yeah.
Oh, that hit on that running back in the jet sweep against Floyd Wells in the scrimmage.
Yeah.
Oh, that was Bryce hit. He comes flying. I was like, God, the kid's like, I gotta get up. This is just our scrimmage. This is our first little test.
That was my first ever hit coming out of practice. You know what I mean? Sevens. We played
Yeah.
sevens all
Yeah,
summer.
yeah.
We couldn't hit anyone during sevens, so I was oof.
Chomping at the bit.
Yeah.
I don't really have one. I can't lie. You know, I haven't gotten a touchdown. But I've gotten a lot of like great what's it called? Like tackles for loss.
Oh yeah.
But
Sure.
there's not like a definitive one. Hopefully it's coming though. Like it's on the way.
Yeah.
There you go.
We're in the playoffs,
I like the
baby.
anticipation.
I
right
do
there.
too,
That's good
man.
stuff.
All
Cool.
right.
So, I was talking to John over on the way to, as I was driving this morning, I'm like, man, I said, if anybody's not watching Southern Arizona football, they need to be.
Dude, I know. Top to bottom.
I
Top
mean,
to bottom. I mean, Buena is at the top, but like these 2A schools are just even the 8-man football. That I know, right? But the thing is the competition that they're playing at. They're winning state championships. Where are you trying to pull up those
our
scores?
scores
Oh, our
for
scores.
for the county. Oh,
Right
they're
there.
Okay.
Yeah, and just scroll through.
I'll find them.
Good Lord. Anyway,
I'll find them. Go ahead.
yeah, there's the 2A game out here is so good, and all you guys get to play against each other. The thing that I always liked was that I grew up playing the same guys over and over, like when I was in elementary school, all the way up, and then they went to a different high school than me. Like we had 4 or 5 different, actually we had 6 in our city, and so all the kids I played youth football with, they were all over the place, and then by the time we're all seniors and we're all Hulks by this time.
Yeah.
All the other kids, we started playing football in 4th grade, and all these other kids, they might have started as sophomores or juniors or.
Couldn't find it.
No, it's
I thought it was just a
It's a
clip.
no, it's Cool FM. There we go.
Where's that?
Yeah,
There we go.
that's always
Okay.
a bonus. Get to see
So-
yourself on TV.
Yeah. So let's talk about, well, we obviously know Buena handled their business against Sunnyside last night. Douglas goes up to Rincon, spots them on shutout, 45-0. They won 4 straight games, so they're looking pretty good. And we're trying to maybe slide into the last second playoff spot there in the 4A. Tombstone handled their business with the Titans of Palo Verde, 49-14. Bisbee,
I know.
55, Santa Rita 7. Now, Santa Rita, we've mentioned them a few times on this show and other times when we broadcasted. They used to be a 5A school, and now they're barely a 2A. It's just sad to see. I mean, it just shows you how much growth has happened on the east side of Tucson with Micah and Empire and
You treat it
Cienega.
as a learning lesson to what happens here in Sierra Vista. There's new schools coming in
Yeah.
all over the place. What is the future of Buena? What's the future of ALA, Breen, all these schools that, like, you're going to take some students from one school, you're going to put them in a different one just because there's so many for the radius, that little area that we're in. So,
Wilcox 62, Catalina 0.
mhm.
Tanque Verde, surprisingly,
Well,
gave Benson a run and beat them by 9.
I can't believe that. Benson's had a good season, but Wilcox 62-0, they've had a good season. So I'm
Yeah.
expecting maybe some playoff action out of them. And
Yeah,
then we're also looking at St. David versus Mohave.
yeah, 59-12.
And then
that was actually a playoff game.
oh my gosh.
So they're in the semis.
Okay. And then
That's
there's
the quarterfinal game.
there's a game tonight.
Yes. Well, we'll real quick, we missed Bereen. Bereen at 27. Western SciTech Warriors. I talked to Coach Hampton after the game last night. I was doing my rounds with the city, and he said that they handled their business pretty well, and he's doing his thing. And, we'll have to see what happens. They're going to end up with a playoff spot for Bereen. So a lot of playoff games coming up here soon for a lot of Cochise County teams.
And so we can move into college football now.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, you guys are going to be college football players. We've talked to you about this before. Well, maybe some of you, maybe both, all three of you. I'm crossing my fingers. Do you guys want to play college football? If you had the chance, if someone was to recruit you, would you play?
Maybe. I think so. I mean, it depends on the team, I think, for me. But, I mean, if it's a good program, I think I'll take that chance.
Okay. How about you?
I definitely would, yeah.
Yeah? Are you considering a school?
Coop's got another year.
Well, I know, but shoot, that kid that was 6'7", 240,
True.
I'm sure he's got a few.
True. He has 9, I believe.
None in particular right now.
Okay, but you're looking at it.
Right.
Okay. Sean, we know that you're going to be probably going on to the next level, right?
I mean, if hopefully, if someone offers me, then yeah, I'd take it. But as of right now, the plan is just to go to U of A. But
Okay.
we'll see what my options are.
I could totally imagine you playing guard, believe it or not. I know it sounds crazy, but you kind of have that guard shape, like the wide shoulders, not quite as tall, but like agile. Defensive ends and guards, that's like kind of the same position.
And you'll probably, if you end up going to a D1, you'll end up redshirting that first year. And all you're going to do is just sit in the weight room and just go crazy.
If he's going D1, then we got to get him into the wide receiver. We got to get your hands better. Because you got that. When they get up to a certain level, yeah, we can start throwing the ball to you. And then we're going to, okay, so what's everybody's favorite college team?
U of A.
Okay.
I like Ohio University.
Oh, University of Ohio or Ohio University?
Yeah, because.
Because my father played.
Oh, I was going to say, well, that is the most right. Sierra Vista, and that's your two. That's cool. Your dad played at Ohio. Wait, is his dad the coach over at who's
Uncle?
Oh, that's your uncle. Okay. So now I'm getting it. So everybody's got. So who are you related to?
I'm definitely a U of A guy.
Okay, you're
Right
a U
on.
of A guy.
Right on.
That's very cool.
I'll say I'll root for the Wildcats all
U of
day
A
long,
is-
but yeah, it's been an ugly season.
University of Central Florida is a good school. So you don't like that's the thing is like people it's kind of like high school football, like the very last game you're ever going to play unless you win the championship, you're always going to lose and it's heartbreaking. Like high school football, every single one of us throughout all of our lives, the very last game is going to be a loss. And except in the very rare instance that you can go on and go to the state championship and win a championship, but like the reality is that's only one team out of every division every year. So like, we see these losses and we have to remember those guys are playing good ball. They'll be playing good ball next year probably. They'll get better as they get, better coaching possibly. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying. I don't know much about the coaching, honestly.
Well, they got one of the most offensive wisdom, lots of offensive wisdom that they brought in from Syracuse, and they're not using it right now. So
Arizona State, 21, they're at halftime over Oklahoma State. Can you believe that?
yes,
That's unreal to me.
that coach has got something big going on up there in Tempe. I don't know how, but
USC is playing Washington at 4. Then we go down to
got a
Oregon. Yeah, you were saying Oregon and Michigan. They're just beating the snot out of Michigan.
yeah.
But Oregon, I think, is the fastest team in NCAA.
They always are.
What do you guys like? What are your observations when it comes to college football? Like, do you have any teams that you're paying any attention to this year? Or you're a Colorado guy? You're gonna go hang out with Shedeur and Dion and
I was high on Louisiana State until they lost to Texas A&M. It happens, but they could still make the playoff. I think. I don't know.
Top 12, right?
yes,
Top 12
teams.
going to the playoffs.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're ranked right now, but they're a really good team, and I mean, I think they're going to do big things.
Oh, for sure. I've got a couple of teams. I like Kentucky for some reason. Actually, when I see a team, it's
These
usually
guys look like Kentucky on Friday.
Dude, you guys
at
are
home a lot.
Yeah, like
The gray and blue, they look good.
that gray uniform is by far my favorite.
Yeah.
The black with the dark blue lettering, cool looking, but I mean, and all Darth Vader and everything, but cannot read the letters. I couldn't figure out who was on the field.
We got news. We had to change the dark blue letters.
So
white.
put white letters on.
So are you gonna wear them for senior night?
I hope
Okay, I hope so too. Those are dope looking.
Oh, maybe we said too much.
Yeah,
on
to
the
be
show.
honest, I don't know if we were supposed to say
Uh-oh.
that.
That's all right. Well, you guys, I already gave you guys all the ultimatum to get out to the stadium and watch
You'll
these
figure
boys play next week. So
Okay, we also got North Carolina, Florida State. North Carolina's taking care of business, 21-11.
took them to the woodshed already.
Yeah,
as they
Kansas
say.
State is losing to Houston 9-10.
Saw that.
Indiana looking really good this year. Indiana 10, Michigan State, or Indiana 30, Michigan State 10.
UCLA's beating Nebraska.
Yeah, so UCLA. That's the thing is like Nebraska doesn't have their quarterback, right? They're missing.
Varela?
Yeah, he's
I
out.
didn't know he was hurt.
I thought he was.
No, he's playing.
If he's playing, that's really embarrassing.
Yeah,
because he should be.
it's a struggle right there.
He's a monster. New Mexico and Wyoming are tied at half, 35-35. Georgia is losing to Florida, 13-6 now, and that's halftime. That's game we're gonna go home and see it immediately after this. And then there's Clemson versus Louisville later. Tennessee versus Kentucky. I would expect a little. I think Kentucky's good. I'm not expecting them to beat Tennessee, but Pittsburgh SMU is another good game later tonight. Any games that you guys see on this list that you think would? Oh, Army versus Air Force.
We
Army
won.
beat up on Air Force. I didn't see
Yep.
that coming.
We won 20-3.
Illinois beat up on lost to Minnesota. Wow.
Illinois lost to Minnesota?
Yeah,
Golden
Illinois.
Gophers.
And Miami
TJ
beat the
Flatt.
snot out of Duke, 53-31.
Hey, Coach Levitt's going to be happy. OU beat the snot out of the University of Maine.
Yeah. Well,
Got them a
yeah, Northwestern
mercy
Purdue
win. No, just
in
kidding.
overtime. Yeah, that's a killer game. Actually, have you guys seen any of the Boise State games?
No, I've
They-
seen the clips.
They got
Ashton
GT.
GT.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, what is that guy gonna? I want to see him in the next level. Who does he remind you of anybody in the NFL? Or I
Maybe
go
play with
way
him.
back. I go way back to the 80s and 90s. So like when I see him, I'm like, oh
I get a
gosh,
little Michael Luhn.
I do.
Okay.
Michael Lujan.
really?
They played San Diego State University, and I heard that they just tried to stop the run all night. It didn't work. He had like 158 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. I did see it. Yeah, they were like, okay, we're just gonna stuff this dude. It reminds me. Okay, you guys none of you guys saw Steph Curry play in college, right?
No.
Okay, so Steph Curry played at Davidson, and he was a monster. He could shoot from anywhere. He was just like he is in the NBA, and he could shoot from anywhere. They wouldn't just double team him. They would triple team him, leaving 3 people on the floor completely exposed. That's how many people, that's how dominant. He was just shooting nearly.
He was
So-
in Davidson, right?
Davidson, yeah. Actually, I was in North Carolina. I was living in North Carolina. I was trying to get a job at Davidson when he was playing there. Anyway, that's how old I am. Good Lord. My best friend was working in NASCAR. Anyway, yeah, I know. 106.
We don't talk about our age anymore.
Yeah,
We're
I
just
think
old.
at this certain point, I'm like, oh, I'm older than all you guys' parents. That's really cool. That's really cool. All my children should be older than you. That's a really interesting. Anyway, should be. Okay, Ohio State versus Penn State.
Beat 'em.
Dude, I knew Penn State was gonna lose that game. I was like, I watched that previous game and I was like, that quarterback looks good, but he doesn't look like he's super clutch. You need a dude that can just like hone in. And
Sounds like Sean was going for Penn State now.
I was.
dude,
It's just like
it's a good team. I get it.
yeah. It's just every time they fumble or they fail. Like fumble.
Yeah, but they might still make it to. They might still be in the top 12, make it to the
they'll be in the
playoffs.
playoffs for sure.
Yeah, I can imagine you going to Penn State, an Ivy League kid. This kid, is he the smartest kid on the defensive line?
Yes.
Probably.
That's a medium yes. Yeah.
Medium.
I will give it to him.
No
He watches-
offense. but-
He watches a lot of
Shots fired. Just kidding.
All right.
Goodness.
So that's the end of our college set segment. We're going to go into the pro. If you guys want to hang out, and we're just going to throw out picks. You don't have to know anything. We're like, okay, Bears versus Cardinals.
All right.
The Cardinals.
You want to hang out? Yeah.
Cardinals. Yeah,
I'm taking the Cardinals on this too.
They're
Because,
doing really good.
dude, no kidding.
Yeah,
they have been playing
First in the
super-
NFC West. With
Tied.
a 4-4 record.
Tied with 4 teams for first. I love it. I'm a Seahawks guy, but I like the Cardinals just because anywhere where I live, I try and adapt a little bit. Like when I lived in California, I was a Golden State Warriors fan. I lived in San Francisco, and I hated it. But you take up the team and you like do your best to love the people that are around you. And I didn't love it, but okay, I'm picking the Cardinals. All of us picking Cardinals. Okay. Seahawks and Rams.
Seahawks.
I'm a Seahawks guy too. Okay.
Sorry, I'll be the bubble buster
No, that's-
here.
This
LA
is-
Rams are healthy again. You got Puka and Cooper,
and the quarterbacks
and
there.
they're flying around. They're gonna make some
I like
big time
Geno.
points.
Geno's still one of my favorite. I know you.
This guy's still on the Geno
I love
Smith
Geno.
kick.
He's got the best deep ball in the entire NFL. It's perfect. It's perfect. He could fit it through like a mailbox at 50 yards.
Man.
He's so crazy. Okay.
Anyway,
Anyway, Broncos Ravens. This is expected to go one way, and I'm picking against it. I'm going with the Broncos in this one. I hate the Ravens. I don't like Lamar, but it's not because of Lamar. I just don't like the team.
I got the Ravens.
Nah, I got the Ravens.
Ravens.
I don't like the Ravens, but I got the Ravens.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I get that. Like, there's teams on here you're gonna see,
I
but
don't think there's anybody who's gonna stop Derrick Henry running on that defense.
Dude.
So,
the Broncos defense is like the best or the
they
second
haven't
best
run
in the
again.
NFL.
Haven't had Derrick Henry run into him
Yeah.
Yeah,
this year.
the Ravens haven't beaten anybody good. Just remember that. They haven't beat the Chiefs. They didn't beat anybody that was good. And they lost to someone that was awful. So, okay. Raiders versus Bengals.
Raiders.
Oh, gosh. All right. I like this guy. This
Wow.
guy's wild. Okay, how about you?
Bengals.
Bengals
I'm
again?
with the Bengals. Yeah.
Okay.
Bengals.
Yeah, I
for
got
sure.
Bengals too.
Raiders
but
are playing better, but they still got a long way to go.
my thing is, it's always, if you don't have a starting quarterback, I almost always pick against you. And being that, like, I love Minshew. He's a Washington State guy. I just don't like that offense, and Minshew doesn't really fit it very well. So, and they got rid of all their players except for Brock Bowers. I love Brock Bowers. He's the rookie of the year as far as I'm concerned, behind Jaden Daniels. Okay,
Yeah, for sure.
Patriots and Tennessee Titans.
I'm going with Patriots on that one.
Okay, both these are
Titans
disgusting teams.
super struggling.
If
Sorry,
anybody
Coach
wa-
Thomas.
If anybody wants to barf into the bucket right after the game, you can go ahead
You
and
know
do
what?
that.
For Coach Thomas, I'm going Titans.
All right, all right.
There you go.
All right,
Titans.
Titans.
Yeah, I'm going Patriots.
All right. I'm gonna go with who's the Titans quarterback right now? None of us know. It's Levis.
Levis.
It's Levis versus May.
No,
Drake
might be
May.
the other one.
Brissett. I still like Brissett more than I like.
because
Yeah,
May got a concussion.
I'll take the Patriots. Man. Okay. Because the Titans are also at home. Saints versus Panthers. Panthers are at home. What do we got?
Saints.
Saints.
Okay.
Yeah.
Saints here.
Saints. I'm gonna give the Panthers just they got Andy Dalton though. I like
Yeah.
Andy Dalton. I'll take the Panthers just to be weird. The Cowboys versus Atlanta. What are we looking at here?
Dirty Birds all the way.
Yeah, Falcons.
Falcons.
Gosh. Yeah. That should. Why is this a 3-point spread?
I don't
That's
know.
Like I'm picking the Falcons
Because
too.
I think that Dallas still has an offense.
It's Atlanta at home.
Yeah.
Whatever. Okay, Bills at home with the Dolphins. Tua's back. I know, right?
Bills.
You got Bills.
I got the Bills.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna go Dolphins.
Okay.
Bills with the weather. Weather's probably going to get cold this week.
It's
Tomorrow
getting there.
It's probably going to be chilly.
I'm gonna take.
Those boys.
I'll take the Dolphins.
Two
They need this
spoiled.
game. They need this game more than anything. If they're gonna make it, they have to beat them in this game. I think.
Yeah.
Chargers and the Browns. Now, Mayor McCaw is a Browns guy. I know. I'm like, How did he pick that team? Good God, but
He's been playing. He's been following them since he was a kid.
yeah, I'm a Chiefs, so I was a
Jim
Chiefs fan
Brown,
my entire life. So
James Brown and all those guys, So
I'm gonna take the Chargers, and I don't know why this is even close. Oh, it's Jameis Winston. Oh, dude, this could be anything. Jameis Winston could win by 60. He could lose by 45.
I'm going the Browns.
Golly, that's something good.
I'll go
going on.
Chargers.
Chargers.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Browns.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go with the Jameis Magic.
Okay. I'm taking the Chargers. I think it's Herbert and their coach. What's his name? Harbaugh. I love Harbaugh. I hate him, but I love him.
Who's better than us?
Nobody. Everybody. Commanders versus the Washington Commies versus the New York Giants. Okay, I'm gonna take. I think I got to take the Commies in this one.
I'm going with the Jaden Daniels Rookie of the Year.
He's so good, and then it's New York's at home, so like,
Doesn't matter.
but Dayball's kind of losing track of the team. So
Mhm.
yeah, I'm taking the Commanders. How about you guys?
Commanders.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Watch this.
Jacksonville
Watch this.
versus Philadelphia. Yeah,
Watch
you know
it.
how I'm gonna pick this. All right, who do you got?
Philadelphia.
Okay. Okay, I got the Jags.
Eagles all the way. Jalen Hurts coming back,
Yeah.
stronger than ever.
Man, see, I have a feeling, man. I think that the Jaguars have turned the corner, and now they look like a normal football team. I don't love that. What's his face? The quarterback Lawrence has to run around as much as he does, but I still trust him as a quarterback. So, but Hurts is so good. Hurts is really good. Lions versus Packers. This is only a 2-point spread. Is that the craziest thing you've ever seen? How is that a 2-point spread?
Packers are just.
Are they that
They're
good?
good.
And they're at home.
Yeah. Lambeau.
Detroit won. They put up 50-something points in their last game.
Yeah, against Dallas.
Yeah. So who are you guys taking?
No,
We'll
not
start
Dallas.
with
Who
you.
was it?
I'll
Someone else.
take the Lions.
You'll take the Lions. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going with Detroit too.
Okay,
I'm going with the
Packers.
Lions.
I think I'm going to go Packers with you because I think Lambeau is going to get cold. Jags, like I mean not Jags, the Lions. Lions play indoors. I'm expecting the Lions not to be able. I think the Lions are going to come apart a little bit. I think they're going to look good for the rest of the season. They're probably going to go to the Super Bowl, but I don't think that they're going to win every game. And I think the Packers are the team that's going to knock them down. Colts versus Vikings. I don't know what to think of this game.
I got the Vikings.
Vikings?
Yeah.
Okay. Sam Darnold versus who's the quarterback? Is it Richardson or is it
Yeah, he's back.
Ann Flacco, the two-headed monster?
Grandpa Joe.
Grandpa Joe, baby. I love that guy. Yeah, I'll take the Vikings by a bunch.
Yeah, Vikings for sure.
Yeah, Darnold, and they're at home. Okay, Monday Night Football, 2 games. Oh, no, 1 game. What? What? So who's his favorite team? Does anybody know?
It's
The
the
Bucks.
Bucks.
The
Right?
disgusting Buccaneers,
Hey,
yes.
remembered.
The Barfineers.
Oh,
They're-
yeah. Okay.
Or the Chiefs, the Kansas City Chiefs, the best team in the NFL.
With the refs.
I'll take it. I'll take a win. However it
Sorry,
comes.
Ben, you know that was coming.
And we all know that the people that complain about the refs, they don't usually win a lot of games.
That's okay.
So they usually have that
It's all right.
mentality. Anyway.
Baker's gonna blow these guys out.
You think? Oh, yeah. Okay, number one.
It's gonna be back to. They're gonna have just one of those things that happens to them, and it's gonna be back to the Super Bowl game, and we're gonna shut you out.
That's the thing is like people don't realize how they turned that game. They did what Spagnuolo did to the Spagnuolo did to the Patriots back when the Patriots had that the undefeated season that went to the Super Bowl and they lost to the Giants. The Giants of all the teams, a wild card team that only had 10 wins. And Spagnuolo on Coughlin, he was the defensive coordinator and ended up beating them. So I'm taking.
Buccaneers.
Okay, how about you?
Fortunately, I'm gonna have to go with the Chiefs.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm going Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Yeah.
Chiefs, yeah.
Yeah, that's a top defense. Top.
All right.
I think they got a great offense. Now for the
Rumor
very
is that Mike Williams might be getting traded to Tampa by before the game, so we'll see if he gets
Really?
signed tomorrow. But I doubt it.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Mike
Does it
Williams
have to
might
be
leaving.
before the? Does it have to be
Trade
before
deadline,
the
I
game?
think, it's next week.
Yeah, I thought it was next week, so it might be next week too.
We'll see.
Okay, last game is next Thursday. Is the Bengals versus Ravens. I know that's actually the game. That's the game I want to watch.
I'm gonna go Bengals still.
Yeah, me too.
I think the Ravens got it.
Okay.
Yeah, the Ravens have it.
I'm gonna go with you guys with the Bengals.
Yeah.
I like their offense. I mean, it depends on where they're at.
If it's a close
If it's
game,
in Cincy.
if it's
It's
in Baltimore.
Mm.
They're going to be throwing batteries at them. You know, Baltimore fans. Those guys
Well,
are evil.
see, the thing is wasn't that the whole process of they left in the middle of the night
Yeah.
and did the whole thing
Yeah,
when
so
they were the Colts back in the day?
they bailed out on the Colts, and then
Or
no,
the
they bailed out on the
Browns.
Browns. Yeah.
Browns.
Wow, how many teams have left Cleveland? Everybody hates it there.
I don't know.
Like they anyway. Okay, well that's the show. That's all the football for the week. We appreciate you guys
Of course,
coming in.
thank
The
you guys
Buena
for this.
defensive line, defensive linebackers. You guys got. Now we've had the coaching. We've had Mayor McCaw. We've had Lujan. We've had Nash. We've had almost the entire team on. So bless you guys. We are hoping
Thank you
that
so
you guys
much.
have a state championship in you guys.
Hopefully, yeah.
I honestly think that you guys, if you look at how strong you guys are playing, your line, it's always comes down to your line play when it comes to high school football. Like that's, you can get a quarterback that can, like a Lamar Jackson that can kind of take over. But if you're looking at like long-term success, every single game is consistent the way you guys are doing it, putting up 70, putting up 49. You guys are averaging somewhere in the 50s.
Yeah, we have
That's
to be.
really, and your points against are really low. You've got to be under 10 points. I mean, that kind
Please
of,
consider that next weekend AIA.
that's a 40-point differential if you consider
Yeah.
all those games, right?
Mhm.
And they've only lost those 2. So I think you guys have it in you, and if you guys can just keep it together and stay strong and mentally focused, I think you guys really do have it. And we are blessed to have you guys on. Oh, we got to thank Ed Morse. We haven't said it. Ed Morse.
back
Bless you.
by the Morse.
Yeah, we're
Ed
back by
Morse
we got some
Motor Company.
sponsorships. We got all kinds of great stuff going on here with Cool FM. If you'd like to comment, subscribe, or whatever we do, we're going to put it on YouTube. So subscribe to the YouTube channel. And that's about it. Any
Look forward
closing
to-
words?
Yeah.
Thank you guys for having me.
Oh, you're very welcome. You're awesome.
Thanks for
Super.
having us out.
Thank you.
Oh, man.
For sure, guys. We appreciate you
Blessed to
taking a
have
little
you.
time out of your weekend and sharing about Buena and sharing about your future endeavors. And we wish the best for you, and hopefully you guys can all continue to play at the next level. We get to see you one more year dominating on the defensive side of the ball, and hopefully
I know.
offense as well. And
It's fun.
it's going to be exciting next week. I think what we're going to try and do, we might have to talk to Coach Thomas and make sure, but next Saturday I think we should do our show during the selection show. 'Cause
Yeah.
I think if we handle our business and do what we got to do with Cienega, and sit up in that lecture pod the next morning and see where we land, I think it'd be a good time to just have the show live with everybody and just walk around the team. Hey, let's talk. Just have little interviews all over the place. So we might do that
That'd
with
be
you guys.
awesome. Yeah.
So we'll see if we can get some lots of people over there. Maybe not just the team, but
And if you're
invite
watching,
the public.
yeah,
So
get the public out there. Well, as you can see, Betty Fairfax got beat up on.
That's
or what-
Pueblo.
Oh, this is
Pueblo, yeah.
Pueblo. Well, you can't tell. They're all covered in blood. Every team is blue and white that we've played. We've only played like
lots of contrast of our colors.
craziest. Anyway, thank you so much, and we will see you next week.
Have a good one, guys. All right, man.